Falcons fans, buckle up, because what just happened on the practice field is the kind of news that makes your heart stop for a second. Right tackle Caleb McGarry, yes, one of the key anchors of Atlanta's offensive line, had to be carted off the field during practice. At the time, reporters weren't close enough to see exactly what happened, but it was serious enough that Elijah Wilkinson had to step in immediately. This is the kind of moment that makes you pause and think, can the Falcons survive another offensive line injury? Earlier today, head coach Raheem Morris said he felt confident about the depth of the line. But honestly, from what we saw on the field last week, the backups didn't inspire that confidence. The starters are solid, maybe even elite, but if the backups can't step up, any more injuries could become a major problem for the Falcons' offense. And right now, that's exactly what fans should be watching closely. But it's not all doom and gloom. There's some good news coming out of training camp, and it's about the man under center, QB1 himself. Michael Penix Jr. Albert Breer visited Falcons camp a few days ago and came back with a report that will make Falcons fans sit up and take notice. Breer made a comparison between Penix Jr. and Matthew Stafford, and that's no small praise. He was impressed with the confidence, vision, and field awareness of Atlanta's quarterback, noting that Penix Jr. sees and processes the game almost as fast as Stafford does in Los Angeles. Let's set the stage for this discussion. Matthew Stafford, former #1 overall pick in 2009, has thrown nearly 60,000 career passing yards and 377 touchdowns, ranking in the top 10 all-time. Now, imagine that kind of potential being whispered about Michael Penix Jr. It's the kind of story that could define the Falcons season. Before we dive deeper, I have to ask you, Falcons fans, how many touchdown passes do you think Michael Penix Jr. will throw in 2025? I'm thinking somewhere between 26 and 27, but I want to hear your prediction in the comments. This is just the start. Penix Jr. is showing signs that he could take this team to a whole new level, and you do not want to miss what comes next. Comment below your touchdown prediction for Penix Jr. Do you think he can match or even surpass Matthew Stafford's style? Let's hear it, Falcons fans. Falcons fans, let's break it down. The Matthew Stafford comparison is huge, but it comes with some important context. Stafford is on the verge of passing Matt Ryan in career passing touchdowns. He only needs 5 more to take the lead. That's a legend in the making, and it sets the stage for the conversation about Michael Penix Jr. Now, don't get it twisted. While Penix Jr. throws a beautiful football, he isn't exactly Stafford. One key difference. Penix Jr. is a lefty, and that changes everything about how you analyze mechanics side by side. Stafford has a unique, almost sidearm throwing style and elite arm talent, while Penix Jr. excels with precision inside the pocket, timing, and rhythm rather than raw cannon power. Here's a better way to picture MPJ. Imagine if you took Tua Tagovailoa's accuracy and Jared Goff's pocket awareness, added a little more athleticism, and molded it all into one quarterback. That's Michael Penix Jr., a very, very good starting QB who can handle pressure, read the defense, and deliver the ball right where it needs to be. And let's talk about what we actually see on the field. His anticipation and timing are elite. Once he drops back, it's rhythm, vision, go. He climbs the pocket effortlessly, processes the field fast, and delivers the ball with pinpoint location. Look at how he connects with Drake London. Every throw avoids defenders, lands perfectly in the receiver's hands, and keeps the play alive. That is masterful quarterbacking. Even though he's not known as a mobile QB like Russell Wilson, Penix Jr. can manipulate the pocket. Slide left, step up, drift right. He knows exactly how to evade pressure and keep the play alive, and that skill alone makes him a nightmare for defenses. But here's the key takeaway. He just needs more reps. Last season's small sample size, 3.5 games, isn't enough to define him. In 2025, his first full season as the Falcons starting QB will tell us everything about what kind of quarterback he truly is. Think of it like unlocking a new level. We've seen glimpses, but now it's time to watch him fully shine. I want to hear from you. How many touchdown passes will Michael Penix Jr. throw this season? And do you think he can handle a full 17-game grind like a true QB1? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's start the debate right now. Falcons fans, let me ask you straight. Do you think Michael Penix Jr. is about to have a breakout season? Not necessarily an MVP-level season, but the kind where he proves he is the true franchise quarterback for Atlanta. I say yes, he's got the talent, the vision, and the confidence to take the reins this year. But I want to hear from you. Yes or no? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's shift to some practice updates from Raheem Morris and the team. Earlier today, before practice even kicked off, Morris shared his thoughts about the roster, and it's clear he's thinking ahead to Week 1. One big update: Caleb McGarry, the starting right tackle, was carted off during practice, and Elijah Wilkinson stepped in. We'll be following that story closely because protecting the offensive line is absolutely critical for this team. Meanwhile, some key young players did not practice today. James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker, both early-round draft picks, sat out. Walker is taking precautions with a groin injury, and Pierce Jr. is simply being rested. Morris emphasized that they want these guys ready for Week 1, and honestly, that's smart. You can't rush your top talent into unnecessary risks, especially before the season even starts. Here's something really interesting from today's practice. Billy Bowman is starting to carve out a real role on this team. Morris praised him and made it clear he will play a role for Atlanta regardless of where that ends up being. And that sends a message, especially to D. Alfred. Bowman's rise and the fact that Nathan Brooks took snaps at slot corner today shows that the team is not fully trusting Alfred right now. His leash is short, and every practice counts. Falcons fans, here's the big picture. This team is shaping itself quietly but powerfully in training camp. New starters are making their mark, young players are stepping up, and Michael Penix Jr. is right in the center of it all. Every practice matters, and by the time Week 1 rolls around, we'll start seeing who's truly ready to lead this team. I need your take. Who impresses you most in camp so far, Penix Jr., Bowman, or someone else? And do you think the Falcons' offensive line can hold up if more injuries hit? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get this debate rolling. Falcons fans, let's dive into the big changes and expectations heading into this season. With the new additions at the quarterback position, the coaching staff is expecting more production, more consistency, and fewer mistakes. Last year, they hoped for solid performance, but this year, there's a clear message. We have talented corners. We cannot afford to struggle like last year. No excuses. One big adjustment involves A.J. Terrell. Previously, Terrell was mainly in man-to-man coverage, shadowing the opponent's top receiver every week. That's a tough job and can wear a corner down fast. This season, Terrell will play more zone coverage, which takes some pressure off him and allows the coaching staff to rely on other corners to help keep the game in front. Not every snap will put Terrell directly against the number one. Sometimes the nickel corner will slide up. Sometimes the scheme will shift. Bottom line, the defense now has to perform as a unit, and the pressure is on. And speaking of the defense, let's talk about Troy Anderson. Fans have been vocal in the comments about his injury history and whether he should even be on the roster. Morris weighed in today. He's not ruling him out for Week 1, but he's also not guaranteeing it. Anderson has had a torn pec in 2023 and a knee injury this July. Currently, he's on the PUP list, meaning he has to be activated before Week 1 to play. Right now, it's still up in the air, and Morris is clearly being cautious. Beyond Anderson, there are a lot of non-participants in practice today. Darnell Mooney, Caudrell Hodge, Clark Phillips, Carlos Washington, Troy Anderson, Storm Norton, Tacone Graham, and Malik Verdon. And with Caleb McGarry's recent injury, it's hard not to worry. Falcons fans, I'd rate the current injury concern level around a 6 or 7 out of 10. It may not ruin the season, but it's a red flag that the team needs to stay healthy and get fully prepared by week 1. The takeaway here is clear. The Falcons are shaping their identity, adjusting schemes, and managing injuries. But the biggest question remains, can this team stay healthy enough to execute all of this at a high level when the season kicks off? I want to hear from you. How worried are you about the injury situation? Do you think the Falcons' defense can handle the pressure if key players sit out early in the season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get this conversation going.